A coincidence that Raisi decided to make an outrageous statement on Holocaust denial before his speech at the United Nations General Assembly. It very clearly indicates that the Iranians who don't seem to be in the business of signing an agreement with the West, with the United States. Otherwise, Raisi wouldn't make such outrageous statements. So he is definitely, he has decided to confront the West, to confront Israel and the United States. This is not a statement, those Holocaust denying statements are not a statement of a leader, of an Iranian leader, willing to reach a compromise with the United States. So I think that the fact that he decided to make this interview and make those statements, these are calculated statements, and I think it's a very clear indication that the deal that has been spoken about for so long seems to be at this point completely off the table.
Right, and of course another issue of timing. Reports that the supreme leader Ali Khamenei may be ill. There may be a succession battle brewing in Iran, and Raisi may be establishing himself in a certain way as sort of securing his hard line flank there ahead of that.
Yeah, I mean, the best way to become supreme leader in Iran is not to be a moderate, obviously, and Raisi knows that. I mean, he's basically running for office, for a higher office, that of the supreme leader. And for that, you have to show your credentials of Holocaust denial, of hostility to the United States, of being immoderate. And I think, as I said, those outrageous statements are not only calculated to indicate that the deal is off, but also that he's basically running for office for the supreme leadership of Iran.
Right. And one other mention, of course, the fact that now he's going to the United Nations and given that sort of, let's say, position of honor at the podium at a time when he's making these Holocaust-denying statements.
Well, it's not the first time. Unfortunately, the United Nations General Assembly, let me remind you, has also hosted before his predecessor Ahmadinejad, who was also a Holocaust denier and who called for Israel annihilation. In 1974, the General Assembly hosted Yasser Arafat, the leader of the PLO, who also declared at the General Assembly that Israel's existence was null and void and got a standing ovation. Let us not forget also that at the time when Arafat was hosted at the General Assembly, the General Secretary of the UN at the time was called Waldheim, a former Nazi officer. So the United Nations has a very sad history of hosting dictators, giving them a platform to address this assembly. Unfortunately, this organization has been morally bankrupt for many years, and I think that the very fact that it would accept such a leader to address the United Nations, Muhammad Gaddafi also, to mention another one, goes to show that this kind of moral neutrality is in fact completely immoral.
Right. Well, we'll have to, of course, we'll be covering that General Assembly and the addresses made there in the coming week. Dr. Emmanuel Navon, thank you for that.
Thank you.